I really don't know what to say, but always after a program I try to say something about it. Firstly, the first gentleman who was here, Jagannath Mishra, I must say he brought all the atmosphere of Indian sweet culture in the villages very beautifully. For example, I have seen that only in India, poets have described the mischief of the children, the walking of the children, their gait, their style, their every little bit of it. But nowhere in any country I have seen children have been described so sweetly, small little children, how they walk, how they fall, and how they do mischiefs. But this is Indian speciality, that in our literature, all over you will find poetry describing the play of Sri Krishna, maybe of Sri Rama, or all kinds of things. Wonderful. Even there was a Christian gentleman who got converted. He also has written a beautiful poem about Christ's childhood. But I haven't seen anywhere in the literature, in the Christian community or Christian people, that they have described Christ as a child, how he was, how he looked, how he walked. It's very interesting. And that's what I felt today when he was describing about the swing that we have for this season. We call it as the Basant, means the as the spring, very bad at translation. So the spring, you see, during springtime in India, in the villages, they put up big long swings, and under the trees, under mango trees, and you see, it's so beautifully described, all these things. This is another thing of Indian literature, where they do not describe only the love affairs. You see, this one point is also describe the relationship with others and with the nature, and how the whole community is playing the Holi maybe, or this swinging and all that. So beautifully described. I wish some of the Sahajogis could take to that now, and when they write their poems or they get into literature, they write about the children, how they walk, how they are mischievous, how they fall down. It's a very sweet thing and makes the life much sweeter with all these things. Also about the nature, where in the nature people have gone, not for just a picnic or anything, but just to enjoy the nature. Would be a very good idea, and that would really show that you have imbibed some of the suggestions, or we can say descriptions of Indian life. It was very sweet, I really enjoyed his style of describing the village life, which is so sweet and shows how people love each other and express their love. There's no carnal love, nothing of the kind, but very pure love between, say, Yashodaji and Radha. I was surprised how it was described so well. So he brought out through his Shehnai, he's a master, I must say, of Shehnai. Such a Shehnai I've never heard before. I must say, he was great, and what a find. Then you know Ajit Kadkade. He has been always coming and singing songs and describing about various things. Today he sang Marathi songs. Whether it is Marathi or Hindi is just the same to you. So it makes no difference. But in Marathi songs, also the mood is very different from Hindi songs. Because he was singing, one song very sweetly about Sri Krishna. He stands with his leg crossed. So he said, this Langla means a lame fellow. How can he be God? What sort of a God it is? Very sweet. The whole description was very sweet, and at the same time it started raining. So, you see, it's an indication that now it should cool down, you see. It has to cool down. And the way it all related, you understand so many things happen in Sahaja Yoga because they are connected. You have heard his songs before, and he's very sensitive person, and he feels for all of you. He himself is a Sahaja Yogi, and he has written many poems on Sahaja Yoga. Today he didn't sing them except for Brahma Shodhili. Now the third one I enjoyed very much was the dance. I always admired Kuchipudi the best because it has bhava, where they express all their feelings very clearly, very sweetly, everybody can understand. And also they have a footwork and all that. You have seen how she worked on that thali and how she danced. So these are all the techniques of Indian dancing, which is different from, I should say, Western dancing. But as many Indians have learned Western dancing, you can also learn Indian dancing. It's not difficult. And there are some Russian girls who are learning Indian dancing in Russia. I was surprised that through the embassy they are learning there. But it's very easy to understand Kuchipudi. That's the easiest thing to understand because very expressive. So I'm very happy to see her dance like this, and she's a Sajogini. Her husband is a Sajogi who is a filmmaker. Can you imagine? Such a simple man like him. So it was a very high standard program, I must say, because I never expected one after another such nice programs coming up. And after her dance, we had you people here. I've heard you separately, not together, so many. When there are people I know, they are from different countries, I know them. I've heard them separately, as I say. But I've never heard them together, and your music has to be done collectively. Sir, sometimes you hear individual playing, but it has to be collective with the composers, things before you, and it is to be done in a very meticulous manner, extremely meticulous. I was surprised some Indians got up and went out, but if you go to any hall in the West for a concert or anything like that, opera or anything, you are not even supposed to cough. So much respect is to be given. But for Indian music, you can walk about, talk to people. Nobody minds that. Because perhaps people are very liberal. But I think one must respect the artist and the art. Otherwise art won't grow. So now we have here some very nice musicians. I was surprised that none of them made any mistakes. That's the best part of it. Though they were coming from different countries. And they did it so well and with such speed and understanding. I wanted them to play this Binati Suniya because in India we don't have any notation. Can you imagine? We don't have any composers. Only thing is we have to go through rigorous training for at least, I don't know, I used to think that it's at least 20 years or 30 years, but nowadays I find the Western people get it in 3 years. Something special about them. And after that only they can start singing with their own originality, with their own expressions. They don't need, they themselves are composers, as if they know the whole knowledge, how to build up, how are the melodies are, ragas are, how far to go, how to express, and they are left to themselves to do it. Now there's a rapport between the audience and between them. So that rapport works and they know how to play. This is another style. I would say both styles are all right. There's nothing wrong in any style or another style. But for Indian style, you have to go into a rigorous training, and if there are people who are connoisseurs sitting here, then you can be found out that you are making mistake, you are doing this. But normally it is very enjoyable in the same way as your music is. You had composers, and they are different types of people. We couldn't play all of them today, but perhaps I like all of them very much, and I enjoy Western music equally same as Indian music, as well as South Indian music. Music is music, I mean, I don't understand that this music is superior, that music is superior. There's nothing like that. They are all different types of music, and only thing is, you must have a sensitive ear to enjoy it. One's enjoyment is abstract. It is not according to the country, according to any style or anything. Everywhere music has developed, and we should learn to appreciate, to enjoy every type of music. I am very happy and thankful the way you have played your orchestra. It was really remarkable. I never thought that you all will join together like this, though I've heard. I mean, Austria is very good, and also Romania is very good. They have so many good musicians there. But for Indians it's a treat, because they have never heard Mozart, I think. Very few people must have heard him, of course. He was a great master, no doubt. Vivaldi, all of them. Tremendous people, no doubt. But I had a chance to go abroad, and I had a liking for music, so I could hear them. It's a chance, a great chance for Indians here to hear all these great composers. So thank you very much for that.